Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Jenny Oya with Nuggets and Things. Today, I want to share with you a little bit about, knowing that the storms, are meant really to help us get through. We look at storms sometimes. It's uh, my analogy, I guess, a lot of times I like to use the analogy versus the eagle versus the chicken. When the eagle sees a storm, he sets his premise, his timing. Like the double dutch. You heard me do this before. Like the double dutch, you got to set your timing, right? When to go in, right? Because if you don't go in the right time, you're going to miss the jump, you know? So when the eagle hears about a storm, or he not hears, he knows a storm is raging and is coming. He uses a storm to get him up higher. But then your pocket for a sec. Using the storm to take you higher. Instead of thinking that the storm is to bring you down. Let me tell you about the down positions here. Okay. The eagle versus the chicken. The chicken is always ground level. And you know what I told you about ground level, right? You have limits when you're on the ground. You're limited because you're on the ground, right? And so you can't see as far as the one does in the penthouse or the eagle up in the mountain, you know, can see further than the rabbit on the ground, you know. So, you know, and when he sees what he wants and where he's trying to go, the eagle, right? You talk about some keen vision, you know. Uh, sometimes describing the eagle is always a visionary. Eagles are visionaries because of the fact that they can see it from afar. They don't have to be close up on it, right? There's a song that says, "Too close to the mirror." When you're too close to something, it limits your vision because you can't see around it. Your peripheral vision is impaired. You can't see from side to side, right? As I'm looking at you, I can see my wind chime here, and I can see my wind chime over there, right? Because all of that is moving. But honey, we talk about being able to have that sight. Your sighting is correctly. Those of you know a little bit about getting ready to shoot. You got to have the sightings right. You line up with the sightings. You know, you ain't looking around the sighting. You're lined up to it, and that's how you shoot. You know, your target, whatever your target is, right? Let me tell you about a storm. I talked to a sister of mine. She's a sister in spirit, and a storm came. It was a great flood of 1999. The flood of 1999, I think it was Floyd came in, Hurricane Floyd. And when it came in, it basically destroyed the city, right? Flooded so many places, people were displaced here and there. But where she was, she said the water came all the way up into her living room. And, but the blessing came after the storm. After the storm, she got into another place and one of her vehicles was in the shop. And because it was flooded and she still had insurance on the vehicle, even though it was impaired, all they knew that she had a vehicle there and she had insurance on it and allowed her to get another vehicle better than the one she had because the one she had was impaired. She came out of the storm better than what she was in it. You know, Sometimes we get afraid of storms, like a chicken. When a chicken hear about a storm, honey, goes to flying. Oh, they hear the thunder, they go to flying. They're trying to get inside, making all kinds of noise. You hear people right now making noise because a storm is coming. Y'all know a storm is coming, right? You know a storm is coming. Um, I know y'all already passed that, so I ain't gonna hit that too long. You know, a storm is coming, and so how you view that storm? You gonna come out of it better, or you gonna come out, like a chicken? Just go hide and cover your head and wait until the storm is over and hope. How they say when you're in an airplane, right? They say, if the engine stops turning, you hear the engine cut off, just put your head between your legs, honey, and just say goodbye. Because it's over, right? And sometimes the chicken, when the storm comes, the first thing the chicken does is it go running. They bump into each other. They're about to kill and stuff. They almost suffocate themselves because they're afraid of the storm, right? The sound, honey, of a storm. Just the sound of it. I'm talking to you, honey. My flag is just a good one. I got a flag, of the, it is of the yin yang, and it's just flying right now, you know. And sometimes you get those signs to tell you that we're in agreement with each other. you know, just to say, go ahead. So anyway, back to this the storm. When the storm comes, first of all, most of the time when you hear about a storm coming, there's a warning. Snow is going to be here in 3 days. 2 feet of snow. Tornado watch. Hurricane coming. It's already over in this particular place. It should arrive in your place. So you got a forewarning that a storm is coming. Now, what you gonna do when you know the storm is coming? You know, you know, like the chicken go to cackling. All that noise you're making. But what you're doing about it? You're making a lot of noise, honey. It is a song say you're talking loud and saying nothing. It's making a lot of noise. But how have you prepared yourself for the storm? And do you expect to come out of the storm? And if you do, how? You know, those are the pretty nuggets we want to talk about. How to come out of a storm, like the eagle. Use the storm for your advantage, not your disadvantage. You're not at a disadvantage unless you see yourself that way. If you see yourself as one that's going to be destroyed by a storm, because honey, they come all the time. All kinds of storms coming, honey. They come all the time. And when a storm comes, what are you going to do to prepare yourself for the storm and to get out of it? Safely, honey. Well, you're waiting to get in because there's an opening. There's always a door. There's a door. And so you're waiting for the opening. And then when the opening comes, you can't be afraid, honey, to jump if you got to jump. Step if you got to step. Run if you need to run. But there's an opening. There's a door that will open for you at the right time. But you got to be waiting on it. You got to be looking for it. And you got to believe there's one that's going to come available for you. Because if you don't believe it's going to come, why would you even be at the door? It's ridiculous. Stand in the door you don't think it's going to ever open. But I heard there's a door that no man can shut. Then there's a door that, that closes and no man can open. And when you're about to go into a storm, you want to know there's a door opening for you to come out the storm better. Not just come out, honey, but you want to come out better. You want to not just survive a storm. I tell people I'm not a survivor, I'm a conqueror. There's a difference, huh? Sometimes you just survived it, but you still carry the weight of it. You still carry the tears from it. You still got the pain from it. You still hurt from it. You still can't get past it. When you talk about it, it still, cause you gloom and doom. But honey, when you conquer it, honey, when you conquer something, honey, you can talk about it, honey, not a teardrop. You can tell others about it, and you're doing good because you conquered it. There's a difference. And somewhere along the line, we're probably more than a conqueror, more than that. Storm is coming. You ready? What you get ready to do? How have you prepared yourself for the storm? What you got cooking? What you got set aside? Just in case. And those of y'all who I know have already got y'all village together, your community set up, people in line. I love it. Oh my God. I'm telling you, ashe, ashe, ashe. to each and every one of you that already heard, your spiritual ears have opened, and you already heard how to prepare yourself. And you've already gotten things in alignment because you know, a day will come. You need to be prepared, right? For whatever comes. And you got a village of people, tribes who understand, right? This is what we're going to do because we've been in training. Got to have training going on, honey, so everybody know what they supposed to be doing. Because it's a terrible thing, honey, when you're trying to get something done. Everybody trying to do the same thing. You know, there's what's this thing about years ago? We were children. There's a whole lot of Indians, not enough chiefs, kind of thing, right? I mean, everybody wants to be the boss. Nobody wants to be, followers. But it can't be that way. Somebody's got to be able to give the instructions because somebody knows how to weather a storm. Somebody knows how to go into that place and come out. I mean, somebody knows because they got some experience. They put some time in on this thing. They know somebody that knows somebody. And those are the people you want to follow. Not the talkers, honey. They talk you into a daggone river and ain't nobody know how to swim. Ain't that amazing? But get your village together. Make sure you're locked into a good community. And I ain't talking about, honey, I ain't talking about where you live, honey. I'm talking about a community, honey, that knows, hey, what to do. Somebody that knows how to turn on lights, honey, when there's no electricity. Them people, can cook, anything. I had a man talk to me on last week, and he was telling me how, how they eat fish raw, and I guess it's part of the sushi bars, right? Which I don't, But I said, they said, in military, because see, I'm in a military state, honey, a military town. I'm in a military town. Purpose, honey. I was purpose to be here, because I was trying to move somewhere else, but I was purpose to be in this military town, talking to a whole lot of military people who knows, honey, how to be prepared. So when they talking, honey, I am silent, honey, as the lambs. You hear me? Because I'm listening, taking notes. And they were talking about how, to survive. How to survive, honey, in anything. When you're hungry, honey, you learn what to eat, how to eat it. When you ain't got no fire, can't make a fire. What about that, honey? How to stay warm, honey, when it's cold. What you learn about that? Stuff like that. This is funny. I like it too. Because you know what it does? I got all those notes, honey, putting it together. And don't think Sugar ain't ready. She's building her community. She's looking for her tribe, honey. People who understand. A time will come, honey. You gotta know your tribe is, honey. you know, how you ring that bell. You know, that alarm that goes off in town, that siren that goes off, that evacuate, whatever it is. Stuff like that. And when that time comes, you can call whoop, whoop. Like what was that Woman King? You know what I mean? There was a sound, honey, that goes out. That's when they hear that sound, Doge, cut to mighty nose, honey. Whoop, they whoop, you know. The sound, honey, that the tribe makes. And you know your tribe, honey. And they know you. They know you, honey. They know you're connected. See, again, I don't have to do the, genealogy on that, honey. Because the tribe, honey, doesn't come by blood. It comes by spirit. It comes by mindset. It comes by abilities, honey, to understand, that this that we in is different than what a lot of people see. So you choose your village, you choose your community and your tribe based on that, you know. Finding people with like minds that understand a time will come. And for those of us that understand that, honey, I was born, honey, rocking them 60s and 70s, you know what I'm saying? We hard times, honey. Y'all remember them things, honey? Hard times. Some people have been privileged, honey. Never seen hard times. Somebody's always baked their cake for them. They never had to bake a cake. Never had to go through anything. Never had to suffer. Because somebody always came in and took their lead for them. You know what I mean? Honey, woe is the day when you're going to have to learn how to fight for yourself and know some things for yourself, honey. So you can come out of a storm, honey. Because a storm's raging. It's raging. There's signs everywhere. Pay attention to the signs. And then connect to your village. Find somebody that, understands who you are and knows you're a part of their tribe. That's a good thing, isn't it? Whoop. The sound, honey. Whoop. They know. You can walk into any place and just make that sound. Whoop. Whatever the sound is you got, honey. And when you make the sound, somebody turns around and look at you. You know that was your tribe. That's your tribe, honey. Yeah. And see, you'll meet them, like, again, here in this place, you got people from all over, honey. They're from other countries, other states, and you're stationed here, knowing things, honey. They can tell you about things that you need to know. You know, the things that you need to know to be ready. One, two, okay, get ready, get ready, and jump in. Because that's the right time for you to get in. Don't be jumping in everything, honey. Because somebody say, "Come over here, I got some over here." No, that is not for you. You know, you know, you know. Pay attention, honey. Oh, the flock, honey. It said, birds of a feather will flock together. That is so true. You know, people in your tribe, if they're coming to flocking, they're coming because they know it's time to jump in. They've been waiting all over the coast, all over the rivers, all over the cities, and they're just waiting to jump in. They just trying to mark where's my community, where's my village, where's my tribe, and they coming at the right time. Have everything you need, honey. you know, you got your cooks over here. You got the farmers able to build over there. These are able to do this. Everybody's all in alignment so they can be fitly joined for the purpose of keeping the village safe and thriving at this time. Because let me tell you something. When the storm comes many times, it's to make you better. Really is. you know. But if you're always scared, everything you hear, you're scared like a chicken. It's just scared all the time. They're gonna do oh, yeah, always jumping and scared, honey. You blowing the coop, honey. You can't get up here in the mountains, honey. Because if you scared down there, what you gonna do when you try to climb a mountain to get up here, you know, to make it, you know? You gotta get on high ground sometimes, honey, because the water gets high. You got to learn how to climb some things, Taking out time, to work out, to get up first thing in the morning, grab my stuff and go to working out. Take my time, to go out here to this park and walk me some miles, have some endurance and be able to keep up with yourself, honey. And if Sheila can do it, and they say I'm a senior, honey. If I can do it, I know you can. Move something, honey, do something, so you could be some use to somebody. That's what I'm saying. You know, we want to be able to, survive some things, make some things happen, get past some things, conquer, and thrive. Because that's what's going to happen. You're going to find yourself thriving. Sometimes in the storm, people leave stuff. they run for the hills, scared to death. They run for the hills. And when they run, they leave everything. Hey, you find stuff, honey, that you can be able to use to get you where you want to go. Isn't it amazing? Hey, this is your girl, Jenny Oya, with Nuggets and Things. I'm telling you today, there's a storm raging. You hear it? Get ready. Get your people together. Find yourself in a place that you're secure. Thank you so much for joining me today. And let your light forever shine. You be powerful. Don't let nothing stop you, nothing move you, and you be everything you're supposed to be. And great things will happen for you and to you because you know who you are and why you're here. Have a fabulous day. Jenny, oh yeah, thank you.